In the glamorous and often ruthless world of boxing, few fighters stir the pot quite like Rolando Romero. Brash, unpredictable, and unapologetically loud, Romero has built a reputation as both a showman and a knockout artist. As of May 2025, his net worth is estimated to be between $5 million and $6 million, stemming from fight purses, sponsorship deals, and media appearances. With a career that has sparked both controversy and admiration, Romero has become one of the sport's most talked about figures, a man fans love to hate and haters love to watch. Early life: a fighter forged in Las Vegas, Rolando. Florencio Romero was born on October 14, 1995, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fighting was in his blood. His father, Rolando Romero Sr., was once a celebrated boxer in Cuba, a three-time national amateur champion. After a dramatic and painful defection to the United States, his father carried with him the warrior's flame, passing it on to his son. But young Rolly didn't immediately take to boxing. Instead, he threw himself into judo, eventually becoming a competitive national-level athlete. "I didn't even like boxing when I was younger," he admitted in an interview. "I thought it was boring. Judo was my thing." Everything changed when Romero watched the 2012 London Olympics. Something clicked. Inspired by the fighters and nudged by his father, Rolly stepped into the boxing ring for the first time at the age of 17, a relatively late start in a sport often dominated by childhood prodigies. Despite his late arrival, Romero quickly made up for lost time. Known for his raw aggression, heavy hands, and often unrefined style, he turned heads in sparring gyms around Las Vegas. He only had 35 amateur fights, a remarkably low number for someone destined to go pro, but that didn't stop him. Personal life, mystery, rumors, and raw. Truth for someone as bold on camera as Romero, he is surprisingly private when the gloves are off. While he's been linked to a few romantic partners over the years, Rolly has not confirmed any long-term relationship publicly. There have been whispers that he has a daughter named Devin, but Romero has never addressed the speculation with certainty. Raised in a Cuban-American household, Romero carries his heritage with pride. Though he hasn't publicly aligned with a specific religion, many believe he practices Christianity, given occasional religious references in interviews. One of the most compelling and humanizing parts of Romero's story is his battle with a speech impediment, which he says affected him until the age of 11. "People made fun of the way I talked," he recalled, "but that just made me want to punch harder." It's a part of his journey that fans often overlook, a struggle that shaped his willpower and need to be heard. Professional career: a wild ride through glory and chaos. Romero's pro debut came in December 2016, when he scored a devastating first-round knockout. That would become his trademark. Early stoppages with explosive power. As his record grew, so did his reputation for unpredictability, both in and out of the ring. In August 2020, Rolly captured the WBA interim lightweight title, defeating Jackson Marinez by unanimous decision. The result was highly controversial, with many believing Marinez had done enough to win. But Romero didn't care. He had a belt, and the world was finally watching. Next came a knockout victory over Anthony Yigit in 2021. By this point, Romero was a known figure, not just a boxer, but a walking quote machine, who called out champions, insulted legends, and took pride in being the heel. In May 2022, he faced off against superstar Gervonta "Tank" Davis in a high-profile showdown. Rolly talked a big game, but ultimately succumbed to a sixth-round TKO, knocked out by a powerful counter left. He took the loss with a surprising degree of grace and used it to fuel his next act. Rebounding from the loss, Romero moved up in weight to challenge for the WBA super lightweight 140 lbs title. In May 2023, he controversially stopped Ismael Barroso in the 9th round. Another victory mired in debate, as the referee's stoppage was widely considered premature. However, Romero's reign was short-lived. In March 2024, he lost the WBA belt to Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz via a 9th round TKO, as the relentless Mexican fighter overwhelmed him with pressure. But Rolly didn't stay down long. In September 2024, he returned with a solid victory over Manuel Jaimes, resetting his momentum. Then, in May 2025, he pulled off the biggest win of his career, defeating Ryan Garcia by unanimous decision in a thrilling Times Square showdown. With that victory, he claimed the WBA regular welterweight title, silencing critics who had doubted his skills. At 29 years old, Romero now sits atop the division, still polarizing, still dangerous, and finally, undeniably elite. College career. The School of Hard Knocks Romero's story skips the college route entirely. While many athletes juggle academics and athletics, Romero took a different path. No NCAA, no scholarships, just sweat and sparring sessions. His classroom was the gym. His textbooks were punching bags. Though unorthodox, this hands-on education carved a world champion. Luxury lifestyle. Homes, whips, and hustle. Romero doesn't hide his taste for the finer things in life. He owns a modern mansion in Las Vegas, equipped with all the essentials of a fighter's fortress: indoor gym, infinity pool, and a private home theater. His pad reflects his personality: flashy, bold, and unapologetically loud. His car collection is just as jaw-dropping. Among his prized possessions, a Chevy Impala lowrider, fully customized with murals, neon lights, and hydraulics. A Lamborghini Urus, painted matte black with chrome rims. A Dodge Hellcat, because every champ needs American muscle, as he puts it. He often flaunts his rides on social media, earning him both admiration and criticism. But that's Rolly, living life on his own terms. Outside the ring, media, controversy, and comebacks. Romero's career hasn't been without turbulence. In late 2021, he was pulled from a scheduled bout due to sexual assault allegations, though charges were later dropped and he was reinstated to fight. The incident marked a dark chapter in his career, and while he was never convicted, it stained his reputation for a time. Still, Romero has remained active outside the ring. He's dabbled in YouTube, appearing in prank videos and training vlogs, and is rumored to be developing a personal podcast. With his unpredictable mouth and raw charisma, some believe he's one deal away from becoming a crossover media star. As of 2025, Rolando Romero is alive, healthy, and still very much in the fight game. While he's faced challenges in and out of the ring, There's no indication of retirement, and certainly no tragedy to report. If anything, Rolly is just entering his prime. Older, wiser, but still ready to throw bombs. Final words. The fighter who refused to fit in Rolando Romero isn't your typical champion. He doesn't dance like Ali, doesn't talk like Tyson, and doesn't box like Mayweather. But he's carved out a unique lane all his own. He's awkward, wild, and raw. And in a sport that often demands perfection, he's a refreshing, if chaotic, change of pace. At 29, with a major title around his waist and millions watching, Rolly Romero remains a fighter you can't ignore. Love him or loathe him, one thing is certain: you'll never forget him.